Where are we today? And all things great on the Zambo television. Well, we're going to have a look at the new rusty bridge. I think this is called North Bridge. Well, let's get back to the car. It's quite too windy, isn't it? So isn't this just fabulous? The houses are lovely. Solar panels. Basically Denniston's over there. Oh my. The M8 motorway should never have been built. Chopping the city into, let's go back. It should never have been built where it was built. It was just the dumbest thing ever. It was like taking an axe to the city's heart. Very, very badly thought out. However, it's more than just a physical barrier. It's a psychological barrier as well. It's hard to get people to move to this side of the motorway. We're in the wife's car today, so it's hard to get people to move to this side of the motorway. The other side of it's kind of town centre-ish, and this side needs a lot of development, I think. City Hill's going to end up being an absolute amazing place. They're spending a lot of money on it. So, Rusty Bridge, M8 motorway. The bridge is going to make it easier for people to get back and forward across the M8, and hopefully it will bring down the physical and psychological barrier that is the M8 motorway. Right, fantastic stuff. The other thing I want to talk about is I got nuked off of Twitter, the Twitter X platform, for repeated violations of the Twitter X rules. They wouldn't tell me what the violations were. I was a bit edgy on Twitter. Marginally offensive, maybe? I don't know. They wouldn't tell me what the violations were, and I've been absolutely banned from opening another account. I know I could get another burner phone or use a VPN, but I don't think I can be arsed with Twitter anymore. Don't get me wrong, there were regular people that I seen on it all the time that I really liked interacting with. I had friends from America. Jamie, he was my mate, he was an ex-tank driver, really switched on guy. Corinne Grave from Canada, even my brother. I seen my brother, or I interacted with my brother more on Twitter than I do on my phone, you know. So it was convenient for a few things. Then there was Bonnie Prince Bob and Big Freddie and a lot of other semi-regulars, the Eva Comrie and all the through Scottish Prism guys as well. I must been able to interact with them again. It was really switched on. Good things about Twitter. The news that you see in the television is basically what happened on Twitter 24 hours ago. The good thing about Twitter is you could follow Yemeni accounts, you could follow Palestinian accounts. Don't get me wrong, it is very, very heavily censored. It's never a free speech platform in 1,000 years. It's not a freedom of speech platform. But you could, if you used it properly, it was easy to debunk mainstream media narratives. Because you could see what the BBC and all the rest of them weren't showing you. The other thing about Twitter is it shows you how feckless, hopeless, inept, neutered, I can't think of many more words than that, our politicians are. These people are really low life scum by and large. When you see the stuff they're going on about compared to what they should be doing, none of them are worth their paycheck, in my very humble opinion. So the good thing about Twitter is you can see that your politicians are head cases. You can get ahead of the mainstream media narratives because you can see live what's actually happening in war zones and stuff like that. So that's the positive stuff about it. Negative stuff, it's not a freedom of speech platform. It's very American centric as well. There's two options on it. There's followers, and that's just you looking at what the people you follow or follow you say. Another one is for you, just two words, for you. If you go to for you on Twitter, I would call that combative Twitter, considering it's a very high tech platform. When you go on for you, all I ended up doing was blocking half the content on for you. There's a thing in 1984, the George Orwell book, that actually it looks as if it's turned into a bit of a, what do you call it, an instruction manual for governments now, doesn't it? My goodness. There's a scene in 1984 or whatever where people get taken into a room. The baddie appears on the big TV screen in front of them, and they'll get to shout and bawl at the baddie. That's kind of what Twitter is. Making tweets is not going to bring down governments. Ripping politicians' new buttholes isn't going to bring down governments. And it pulls you into bubbles. So the negative thing about it, or one of the negative things, I was spending way too much time on it. I'm going home at night, switching that on, watching YouTube videos, and you get into debates and arguments with all sorts of people you wouldn't normally give the time of day to, you know. The other thing about it as well is a lot of musicians and stuff have got accounts, so you can interact with them, you know. So, but I don't think I'll go back on it. I've got a Russian social media account, and on Twitter, your page or whatever has got your media. Before I was banned, I would say 50% of the memes, is that what you call them, the little cartoonish pictures? About 50% of the memes I was posting on Twitter would instantly be removed. When I go into my Russian social media and I look, when I go into my Russian social media account, not one meme that I've put up since I started on, it's called VKontakte, VK. Not one meme I have put up on VKontakte. I think it's more like Facebook than Twitter. Has been removed in the past 4 or 5 years that I've used it. So that's interesting, isn't it? There's actually more freedom of speech in a Russian social media platform than there is in a Western one. You know, I thought the American Constitution was, what do you call it, First Amendment, freedom of speech and all this type of stuff, so it's not there. So I thought I would make the video. You've got a wee rusty bridge, and some people have been contacting me on, excuse me, some people have been contacting me on my YouTube channel asking me what happened. So if anybody from my Twitter sees this video, if they could post it for me on their Twitter X accounts, just to let people know what's happened, I would appreciate that. There's like Bob Hoskins from the Blowbells. He's a famous Scottish songwriter and stuff. I used to interact with him a lot as well. He's a really nice guy, really politically switched on to da. So I do miss you. I miss the camaraderie, and I miss being able to see Russian missile strikes in Ukraine. That sounds mad, doesn't it? There was one a couple of weeks ago where it says the Russians had inadvertently killed 36 people in a hotel. It wasn't inadvertent. When you actually seen the images of how the hotel was struck, they definitely hit it. They hit it twice with two ballistic missiles. I think probably Iskander M's. Very potent weapon system. However, when you see they weren't. I'm sure civilians were killed as they hit the hotel. However, it was very, very accurately hit. Then it went on to Russian social media, and apparently there was a congregation of Ukrainian and NATO military guys in the hotel, and they decided to take it out. So that gives you a bit more balance than the BBC. I mean, 36 people were slaughtered by Russian aerospace forces. I'm sure they got some of the guys they wanted to get, you know. And I'm not trying to justify it, was just absolutely horrific. I want it to stop. But anyway, Rusty Bridges, why I'm no longer on Twitter. I've been spending more time on the recording software. I'm not good, but I am by no means good at it. But it's a much more productive use of my time than arguing with people in America that I'll never meet, that I'm not particularly interested in, about stuff that in the bigger picture doesn't matter. So, as I said, anybody that follows my YouTube, that is on X, if they could repost a wee video for me, that'd be greatly appreciated. Alrighty, tighty. Sight Hill, who'd have thought, eh? This place is going to be absolutely lovely. It's only a 2-minute walk across the bridge to get into the town centre. Smashing bananas. Right, bye.